Welcome in, partners. This deep dive, we're saddling up with a real humdinger, heading straight into cowboy mystery territory on, where else? Cowboy YouTube?
Yeehaw.
You sent over the transcripts for the first 10 episodes of Roger Bindle's saga, and let me tell you, this ain't no ordinary rodeo. We're talking loyalty-tested, danger lurking, and a mystery thicker than a week-old campfire coffee. Ready to rustle up some answers with me, expert speaker?
You bet your boots I am. Transcripts are like x-rays for stories, We get to see the bones, the structure, how the creator put it all together.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
And this here skeleton, it's got some real curious cracks in it. Like right off the bat, our cowboy almost loses his trusty steed, Rusty, in a river.
Oh.
Could be curtains right then and there.
That opening scene, it's more than just a close call. It's Bindle showing us the bond between man and animal, the kind that runs deeper in any river. You feel that desperation in the cowboy's words.
Oh, absolutely. This ain't just a fella in his ride. It's practically two halves of the same wild soul. And speaking of souls, did you pick up on that spooky vibe throughout these early episodes? Like someone's watching them, hiding in the shadows?
Chills, right. That's Bindle playing on our deepest fears, the fear of the unknown. It's one thing to feel watched in a crowd, but out there in the vast wilderness.
Man, you said it. Every rustle of leaves, every gust of wind, you start seeing shadows where there ain't none. Okay, but then we get a real live plot twist. Horse thieves.
Classic Western trope, right. But it's how Bindle uses it, how he weaves it into the bigger mystery. That's where things get real interesting.
You think he's using that familiar setup to lull us into a false sense of security? Like we think we've seen this rodeo before, then bam, he throws us for a loop.
Could be, or maybe he's using it as a springboard, launching off from those classic themes into uncharted territory. Think about it. We got a lone cowboy, a threat to the community. It's like the recipe for a Western, but Bindle, he's adding his own special ingredients.
And speaking of special, how about that blizzard? Our cowboy's hunkered down trying to keep warm when, out of nowhere, he finds a beat-up traveler.
Now, that's what I call a test of character. Most folks, they'd be suspicious as a rattlesnake in a henhouse. But not our hero. He lends a hand.
Shows you the kind of fella he is, doesn't it? Big heart, even when it comes with a side of risk.
Exactly. And that risk, it just adds another layer to the mystery. Is this injured stranger who he says he is? Or is Bindle throwing us off the scent again?
And just when you thought things couldn't get any wilder, bam! Wild stallion. Now, this ain't no ordinary horse. This one's practically got lightning in its veins.
That stallion, I think it's a symbol for the West itself, untamed and full of surprises.
In our cowboy, he manages to tame it, keep it under his wing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a deeper meaning there, too. Something about man's relationship with nature, with the unknown.
You're on to something. But then, remember what he finds. That brand on the stallion's flank. It's like a whisper from the shadows saying, this here's bigger than you think.
Ooh, chills. It's like Bindle's telling us, hold on to your hats, folk. This ride's just getting started.
You got that right. We've barely scratched the surface of this mystery. But those early episodes, they've given us plenty to chew on, haven't they?
More twists and turns than a mountain trail. And we haven't even reached the halfway point of the transcript yet.
It's like those old dime novels, you turn the page and bam! Another cliffhanger.
Keeping us hooked, that's for sure. But before we get too far out into the weeds, I'm curious, what do you make of these rustlers? Are they just a bunch of no good varmints, or is there something more to them?
That's the million-dollar question, ain't it? On the surface, they seem like your run-of-the-mill horse thieves looking to make a quick buck.
Yeah, but something tells me Biddle's got a bigger story to tell. I mean, that whole scene where they try to ambush the cowboy, it felt staged almost.
You might be onto something there. Remember what we talked about earlier, the feeling that someone's always watching? Maybe these rustlers are just pawns in a bigger game.
Pawns for who, though? Now that's got me stumped. But while we're pondering that, let's talk about our hero for a sec. What's your read on the cowboy? He's a man of few words, that's for sure.
Strong, silent type. Classic Western archetype. But Bindle, he gives us glimpses beneath the surface, Those moments of quiet reflection, the way he treats his animals. There's a depth to him, a certain sadness almost.
Makes you wonder what he's running from, or maybe running towards. We know he's got a past, something that brought him out to this isolated corner of the world.
That's the beauty of a well-crafted character, though. Bindle doesn't have to spell it all out for us. He gives us just enough to pique our curiosity, to make us want to fill in the blanks ourselves.
And those blanks, they're starting to bug me, let me tell you. But let's get back to the here and now. We got a hero on the case, a mystery that's deeper in a rattlesnake's den, and, well, frankly, I'm hooked. What's next for this cowboy mystery expert speaker? You got any theories?
Theories. I got a whole passel of them. But the one that keeps me up at night, it's the question of who's behind it all. Who stands to gain from all this chaos?
My money's on someone we ain't met yet. Someone with power, influence. Maybe even someone wearing a badge. Who knows?
Now you're talking. A good twist always keeps things interesting. And let's not forget that brand on the stallion, that weird symbol. It's like a key to a lock we ain't found yet.
You know, it just hit me. What if the mystery ain't about finding the culprit, but about something else entirely? What if it's about the journey itself, the challenges, the choices our cowboy has to make?
That's an interesting thought. Maybe Bindle's using this classic Western setting to explore something deeper, something about human nature, the struggle between good and...
Or maybe he's just messing with us, huh? Either way, I'm along for the ride. And that's a wrap on the first half of Cowboy Mystery. But don't go wrestling off just yet, folks. We got a whole nother herd of questions to wrangle in the second half. Well, folks, we're reaching the home stretch of our Cowboy Mystery deep dive. But like a good campfire story, the embers of this mystery are going to keep burning long after we're done here. Well, folks, that about does it for our deep dive into Cowboy Mystery.
Until next time, happy trails.
And happy viewing.